As I stepped off the St. Charles Avenue streetcar on that sweltering August evening in 2023, the neon lights of the French Quarter seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. I was Lena, a photographer capturing the city's vibrant nightlife for a travel magazine. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine and decay as I made my way down Bourbon Street. People moved around me, frozen in mid-step, their faces expressionless. At first I thought it was just some kind of street performance, but as I walked closer, I realized they were genuinely stuck. A jazz band was paused mid-note, their instruments still vibrating with the last sound they'd made. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I approached a frozen tourist, his camera still raised to his eye. And then I saw the date on his camera screen. August 15th, 2023, 9:47 p.m. The same date and time as mine. This story is not over. Part 2 drops next. This is Part 2. If you missed what happened before, start from Part 1. Remember the frozen tourist with the camera? I was standing right next to him now, trying to make sense of what was happening. The streetlights cast long shadows across the pavement, making it seem like the city itself was watching me. I noticed a small cafe nearby, its doors open, inviting me in. I stepped inside, and the silence was oppressive. The coffee machines were paused mid-brew, the aroma of freshly ground coffee beans hanging in the air. Behind the counter, a barista stood frozen, her eyes fixed on something across the room. That's when I saw him. A man sitting at a table, sipping a coffee, his eyes locked on mine. He wasn't frozen like everyone else. He smiled, and I felt a chill run down my spine as he beckoned me to come closer. Part 3 is coming. Follow so you do not miss it. This is Part 3. If you missed what happened before, start from Part 1. As I approached the man's table, he introduced himself as Etienne, his voice low and smooth. He explained that time had been paused in the city for those who didn't belong. I was skeptical, but he showed me a small, intricately carved wooden box on the table. Inside, a tiny clock mechanism ticked away, the only sound in the otherwise silent cafe. Etienne claimed it was a temporal anchor, keeping him connected to the flow of time. He warned me that I had to find a way to restart time, or I'd be trapped forever. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the air grew colder. Etienne's eyes locked onto something behind me, and he whispered, "They're coming." I turned to see the frozen people outside starting to twitch. This story is not over. Part 4 drops next. This is Part 4. If you missed what happened before, start from Part 1. The twitching turned to convulsions, their bodies jerking violently as if trying to shake off some unseen force. Etienne grabbed my arm, pulling me deeper into the cafe. "We have to get out of here now," he shouted. But it was too late. The people outside burst into movement, their faces twisted in rage. They surged towards the cafe, shattering the windows. Etienne pushed me towards the back door, but as I reached for the handle, I felt a hand grab my shoulder, spinning me around. A woman's face was inches from mine, her eyes black as coal, her mouth open in a scream that was still silent. And then everything went dark, and that is the story that nobody was supposed to hear. Follow for more stories like this.